morning. I swear a lot.
Hello friends, and welcome back to Limbus Company. So, we've caught up in everything now, and we are waiting for Season 6. I had to look at the thing to make sure to start, which means that we'll be going back to Ruinous soon, but there is some business to take care of here before we do that. It's not long until Season 6. I don't think it's long anyway. So we've got stuff to spend, and we've got things to cash in and whatnot. Now, obviously, I'm pretty sure leftover ego shards become thread, unless we're doing that thing from before where it's like, oh, these are now previous season ego shards or something. I don't really know or remember the system. Don't really care. Purpose for today is to spend what we got. But there is some stuff to do first, because we still need to exchange our rewards for nocturnal sweeping, and we still need to get this. We still need this. I want this. Another Heishu pack item. Identity. Fantastic.
토끼에게 붙을 이름은 없다. 나는 그저 아무것도 아닌 그림자 속 짐승일 뿐이니.
Oh. That's interesting. I thought Ryoshu's identity was supposed to be based off of Zilu, but I mean, Otis has the hat, so probably. I think that's worth immediately investigating because I'm not entirely sure, and I want to kind of compare the two. So I want to look at my 7 association team, which I've kind of set up to be the Rupture team, kind of. I want to kind of compare them. So we'll get Heishu, fucking Ryoshu, and but I'd have to get rid of 7 association fucking Otis. Do you think I can do that? I don't think I can do that. Yeah, this appears to just be a Heishu pack member. Though it's weird because they're both level rank 3 identities. But let's have a look at this first. Looks fucking cool immediately. Blink step. Gain power based on Rupture, Rupture, Rupture. Obviously this will be better at higher up ties. 6 plus Rupture coin power plus 1, 10 plus speed, more damage. I think this is supposed to be based on Zilu, yeah. Pretty sure. Cursed Rip, Butcher Blade. Ooh. If this unit speed is faster than the target, steals speed difference times Rupture potency on target damage max 50%. That's quite a lot, actually. This unit speed is faster than targets by 2 or more. Coin power plus 1. Gain 3 Stride and Mao. Gain haste. On unopposed attack, inflict 2 Rupture count. That's quite strong. Inflict Rupture, Death Right Haste. Yeah. This is Zilu stuff. At 10 plus speed, reuse coin once per skill. That's really good. Partial Heishu mutation, clashable counter, gain Strider. If this unit speed is faster than attacks by 2 or more, base power plus 1, inflict rupture count. You now Strider Mao and the target has Death Right Haste, deal more damage for every Strider Mao, max 15%. That definitely adds up. One ally with the fastest speed when attacking targets with Rupture, deal 10% more damage, gain haste once next turn, once per turn. Okay. I think there's some good Rupture stuff, potentially, to be done here. It's a shame, because I love this identity. This identity fucking rules. But it is not brilliant for Rupture application. Like, yeah, there's some Rupture count here, and that's good, certainly. But it's not brilliant for Rupture application. Like, it's really just skill 2 that you use to maintain it. Skill 1 has 1 Rupture on it. Fucking brilliant. Doesn't do much, though. They're good skills, just not necessarily for Rupture, though they can capitalize off of it. I think the potential renaissance of the of Rupture will actually stem from us moving the fuck away from the 7 association, which is a shame because I would like my 7 association lads and lasses to be relevant, but I just don't see it happening. It seems unlikely. But then again, I don't think any of us really thought the Kurokuma were going to get the glow up that they actually got. I think we all considered it a possibility, and many of us hoped for it, but I don't know if we were actually expecting it as such. Like, if it hadn't happened at this Yield My Flesh to Claim the Bones bot gag, I think we would have all sat here and been like, yeah, it's not happening. They're going to focus on Blade Lineage, like, now and forevermore, or they'll take it in a different direction, or they'll just can it. I don't know. But the fact that that happens to the Kurokumo gives me hope. This could happen. I just, A, don't know when, and B, don't consider it entirely likely, but I'll hold out hope. But at the very least, Rupture will be eating well soon, because we've got some good identities for it. I want to do some extractions. Yisang idea from the middle, yeah, because we got that. This looks fucking amazing, so let's give this a fucking try, why not? Now, yeah, maybe I could save this shit for stuff later on, but that's boring and we're making videos, so we're gonna do some pulls, naturally. So, I was ill for a while. Nothing major. Flu, I think it was. I nearly fainted moving something, which was pretty funny. And I was worried during that time because I was like, what if the reward claiming period on Nocturnal Sweeping ends before I can come back, right? Because then I'll miss out on Otis's identity, which I'm really glad I didn't because it was fucking sick. So I have pushed myself to return a bit earlier. I know I said a week, but I'm still ill. But I was like, fuck it, I can't, you know, hold off any longer. I've got stuff to do. I don't like not getting stuff done. I like cracking on with these things. I like getting videos done because A, I like to keep on top of it, of course, and B, when I get stuff done, it means I can then move on to do other stuff. I'm enjoying the stuff I'm doing now, but also when I get the stuff done, I'm done doing, done now, done, good, finished, good, I could do other shit, you know? It's difficult. But I'm always eager to crack on because there's always stuff I want to do and always stuff I want to have a look at. Alas, we didn't really get what we want, but that's fine. Use this item to select a Season 1 identity to obtain, and then Season 2. That's interesting. Yeah, we have a lot of ego shards to spend and crates to use to get more ego shards, and we have, I say, we use this episode to just get a bunch of new shit. Let's start with you. What can we... Ooh, well, okay, not a ton of options, but that's fine. We can either get, I assume, Cooking Gregor, Cooking Ryoshu, Ting Tang Hong Le, or G-Corp Gregor. Now, I know that there are right and wrong answers here, as it were, where people are going to be like, look, this identity is incredible and you should really get it as soon as possible and what have you. But I am the most interested in G-Corp Gregor, so I'm going to get it. Yup.
입사를 명받은 그레고르라고 합니다. 작전에 함께 투입돼서 영광입니다.
I've never heard him speak that fast in my life, except when he's grumbling. What a what a tragic. What a tragic. What a tragic. Immediately, let's have a quick look at Grigor, because he's my boy. What kind of identity are you? Occurs to me, I don't even know what you do. Flash Wind plus 20% damage, heads hit, heal by 30% of damage dealt, so not actually playing into any archetypes from the looks of it. Inflict 5 Rupture, alright, never mind. On hit, if the target has Rupture, deal 30% of damage dealt. Wow, there could be a lot of damage here, potentially. So he plays well with Rupture teams, certainly. Bearing in mind he has a Season 1 identity, so he's probably not going to be particularly insane, but who knows? Less than 25% HP, heal by 5% of max HP after winning a clash. That's pretty good. The ally with least HP heals 5 HP after winning a clash. That's different to his normal gene code, of course, which heals naturally with Gloom Resonance, if I remember correctly. Yep. 5 HP versus your support passive. 5 HP after winning a clash. It doesn't specifically state that it can only happen once. So, would that just mean that the character with the least HP heals 5 HP every time they win a clash? Maybe? I don't know. I haven't tested it. I assume you guys have tested it and can let me know. But that's a pretty good support passive because that's just a pretty good support passive. It actually worked really well with my 7 association team because then they would have a healing support that they can fuel. Like, they could technically fuel normal Gregor, but at least with that, they would definitely fuel it every single turn because they'd be producing tons of gluttony. So that's pretty cool. All right, I like that. That's fun. What else we got, huh? Season 2. Oh yeah, it's this lot. The fix Rain Office. Is it Rain Office? Molar Office, that's it. Molar Boatworks specifically. Oh, there's a lot of stuff here that would be good to get. Molar Otis or Molar Ishmael. Or Rospanner Rodia. What do you do? You're Tremor. Okay, so it's mostly Tremor. Bit of discard in there as well. That's interesting. You're Tremor Sinking Hybrid, which is interesting. I get the impression she's pretty good. What about you? Charge and Tremor. Yeah, as I would expect. I would like to get Rose Spanner going, because I've got like Merceau and Gregor and potentially Rhodia as well. I'm not desperate for it, you know? Not desperate for any of these. What do you do? Tremor, Tremor. Oh Lord, a lot of Tremor. And you, Tremor, Tremor. Oh Lord, a lot of Tremor. I'm gonna get Ishmael. I'm gonna get Ishmael. She seems good.
가까이 오지 마세요. 아직 잡아야 할 개들이 산더미니까. 그리고 개 내장 묻을 수도 있어요.
Damn, son. Good stuff, good stuff. Happy with that. Well, we kind of went through her skills already, but we'll do a quick look through just for the sake of it. Definitely the only reason I'm here. Gain 3 tremor count, inflict 2 sinking count, inflict 2 tremor count, inflict 6 sinking, inflict 2 defense down level next turn. Coin power on tremor count, target sinking, also deal more damage, inflict sinking count, inflict sinking, spend tremor count to inflict fragile. Interesting. So it kind of seems like it's using tremor and sinking to play up each other, which seems very niche. Like, I can only speak from the perspective of someone who has not engaged with either tremor or sinking very much in the grand scheme of things. I have one team for each, and frankly, neither of them are particularly amazing. Like my Kanto 6 team was really more of a, you know, Kanto 6 team, not really a sinking team. Like there are identities in there who have basically nothing to do with sinking. So I don't have a lot of experience with them and how identities might play well together in this regard. She seems like the only one I've seen who really ties the two together, other than perhaps, what's his name? Spicebush Yi-Sang. But his is still, oh yeah, no, because gain tremor count, right? She's also gaining tremor count for herself. It's interesting. Ah, fun, okay, well, once again, not something I was crazy attempting to get, but cool, I suppose. It exists and now I've got it. So, here's the thing, right? Before this episode started, I did a Mirror Dungeon run, you know, because obviously we needed lunacy to do the pulls. And I did Lure again, because I haven't played with them for quite a while. And they're all like level 40 or so. So 10 levels below cap. Played on hard, and they absolutely crushed the first 5 floors. It makes me want to play Lure and get Lure stuff. So I think I want to get Lure Yi-Sang. I think I really want that. Marvelous. Let's see what you got, lad.
여전히도 참으로 북적스러운 공간이 아닐 수 없구려. 동료들은 어찌 방 안에 내버려 두질 않는 것인지.
I love that image in the bottom right. That was very fun. I love his little Lure hoodie. I wouldn't have expected it. I like it already. Good shit. Let's have a look at you, my friend. Where's my Lure team again? Here. You can be relevant in this team selection now. Target 6+ burn, coin power +1. He's a rank 3. Inflict burn, inflict burn. Are all of his attacks slash? At least, yeah, it seems like it. Oh yeah, because I think he uses a sword, doesn't he? If so, that's very cool. If target 6+ burn, coin power +1, inflict 2 burn, inflict 2 burn. If target 6+ burn, inflict 2+ burn, count on target. That's good, not bad. Flow of the sword. Target 6+ burn, coin power +1, deal +10% damage for every 6 burn on target. After attack, heal 10 SP for one other ally with the least SP. That's really good almost by itself. If this attack killed the target, or if the target had 10+ burn, heal one more ally. That's really good. Deal +2% damage for every burn on target, max 60%. Inflict wrath affinity damage equal to burn potency on target, max 30. Reduce target's burn count by 2. Okay. Flame counter. Before getting hit, gain shield equal to burn on target, max 10 once per turn. Soon as shield, inflict 1 additional burn. Okay. We'll heal one ally with the least SP by 5+ highest resin, max 10, excludes self and panicked or ego corroded allies. If said ally has base skills, inflict burn, potency, or count, heal 5 additional SP to them. For 2 allies with the least SP, if they lost SP this turn, heal 5 SP at turn end. He's really solid. And these skills will obviously just get better with the up ties, won't they? 3+ burn, that's quite easy to accomplish for coin power +1. More coin power, more damage. Damn, he's really good. I love him. Really looking forward to doing that. Unfortunately, I can't focus on Lure at the moment. I've got to focus on Blade Lineage and full stop, because that's what we're using for the next canto. But exciting. That reminds me, well, nothing reminds me actually, but I just remembered something.
처리하기로 했던 것들은 다 줄 걷고 이제 고대하시던 폐역 쿠폰 부리놈들을 찾으러 가보자고 형님께 말씀드려야겠어.
Now, we've already seen that one, but I love it. That's a ton of fun. I love that the theme is playing in the background. It's very cool. Now I want to see this.
처리하기로 했던 것들은 다 줄 걷고 이제 고대하시던 폐역 쿠폰 부리놈들을 찾으러 가보자고 형님께 말씀드려야겠어.
Not quite what I wanted. I wanted the Upside 3 one, you know? Okay, apparently it just shows you the gacha animation and nothing else. That's a shame. I would have liked to have, you know, seen it. But, oh well, I suppose that's that. Okay, next identity. There is another one I want, actually. I know what it is. People have mentioned that the best, like, identity to round off my Envy team would be Princess Rhodia. So we're gonna head for that as well. With a Hex Nail as well, I'm sure she can put in a lot of work. But I also imagine that the identities that this, or the moves that this identity has, are probably quite effective. Putting it out there, because people mentioned that, well, not people, some people offered the opinion that Otis is the weakest of the La Mancha Land IDs. Maybe that's true, maybe that's not. But for someone to make that statement makes me interested in seeing what the others have, you know? So, not Don Quixote, but I might, genuinely considering it. Let's see what you got.
라마차랜드의 카니발에 오신 걸 환영합니다. 끝없는 퍼레이드를 함께 해주시겠나요?
Oh, damn. Good stuff, good stuff. Okay, Rhodia, let's have a look at you, shall we? It's good, I didn't have a lot for her to do in an MV team, so this should switch things up a little bit. Be gone. On self and one ally with the highest max HP, consume up to 20 Blood Feast and apply 1 Blooming Thorn for every 10 Blood Feast this unit consumed, 2 times per turn. Gain defense level when hit, inflict bleed. And lose a stack. Prioritizes Blood Fiend allies, naturally, which is funny because this team's gonna have fuck all Blood Fiends in it. If the affected ally is a Blood Fiend, this unit applies 1 additional Blooming Thorn. If this unit fails to consume Blood Feast, gain 5 bleed. Yeah. Infinely ground Mistfall on self and one ally with the least max HP. Apply 1 attack power up, consume up to 30 Blood Feast, and apply 1 Blooming Thorn. For every 10 Blood Feast this unit consumed 2 times per turn. Prioritizes Blood Fiend allies if they are a Blood Fiend and apply additionally more attack power. Failed to consume Blood Feast, gain bleed. Inflict rupture count, bleed count, rupture, bleed. Okay, Festival will end. Before use, at 25 plus Blooming Thorn, activate Ascendant Don Quixote Hardblood Arts, the finale instead, which sounds amazing. To self and highest res and allies, apply 3 plus 1 for every 50 Blood Feast consumed by this unit. Festive Fever. Against types of bleed, deal extra damage, skills to consume. Okay, so a little bit of extra damage for us. Probably a lot, actually. To self and highest res and allies, apply 3 Blooming Thorn, and then all of that. And then that appears to be the same thing, but way more ridiculous. Okay. Clash will counter, reduce blood count by 3 for 2 other allies with the highest bleed potency / count value, or times count value, and increase blood feast by 3 reduction, bleed potency count reduced. If this unit reduces bleed count to 0, bleed expires. Clash win, gain 4 Blooming Thorn. Inflict bleed count. 6 units on the field, blood feast. When another ally takes bleed damage or consumes Blood Feast, gain 1 Blooming Thorn. Requires Lust and Envy. Heal HP on self by 20% of the damage dealt with base skills, max 10 per skill. Reduce bleed potency by 6. And apply bleed potency reduced divided by 2. Blooming Thorn rounded down. Question is, does this team really have much Lust? Obviously the one who grips does. But you don't. You don't. You don't. You don't. You don't. You don't. Not a lot of lust going on, so we're probably not going to get her combat passive, which is a shame, because it seems really fucking useful, the ability to heal HP on damage dealt with base skills. That seems really valuable, but we won't be able to make use of it. But the skill 2 Envy is handy, and getting her to use... what's it called? Hex now would be super good. That would almost be worth it by itself, but unfortunately it requires Lust, which we just aren't really getting to use. Unless we brought Faust onto the field. Unfortunately, it's only her skill 2 that has Lust, the gripping, which means there's not a ton of it, and she's the only character who'd have it, unless we could find another character who's Envy Lust, which I'm sure exists. Captain Ishmael is better as a Envy character, and she's got the command skills that are really useful. I suppose we could just throw in Captain Ishmael from Kurakumo instead, but I suppose it would work. I don't know. Pecod Captain Ishmael brings a lot to the team, as she brings to most teams, as long as she's got some decent resonance going. I'd love to try and bring in the Barber, but she doesn't use Envy. And it's supposed to be a purple team. That's kind of what we're going for, is all the purple resonance and such. The being able to spam electric screaming and then being able to get Hexnail as well. These seem like the most crucial aspects of this team to make it all work together, outside of the high amounts of resonance leading to high amounts of power. Or at least clash value. But it means that the team needs to be... There needs to be someone else bringing in Lust. I don't think it can just be Faust. So I would want, perhaps... We'll assume Captain Ishmael for now. So Captain Ishmael. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I think Captain Ishmael would have to go. Captain Ishmael would have to be replaced with a Lust Envy character. Because we just need a bit more, which I guess would be Kurakumo Captain Ishmael, wouldn't it? This would be the lineup. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. These guys can be kept in backup, or they can be replaced with other people who have different support passives that more support an Envy team. I'm sure Heathcliff can provide Envy support, indeed Desperation does. One ally of the highest max HP deals more pierce damage. If it wasn't pierce damage, that would be fine, even if this was weaker. But the fact that it's pierce damage, there are opportunities for pierce damage in this team, just not tons. Although Rhodia does do pierce damage exclusively, and Faust also does pierce damage with her skill 2, so it's not necessarily unviable. I'll play around with that a bit more in my off time. I'd like to perfect myself a little Envy team, which I guess will be minorly Lust focused as well, but only very minorly. The main focus is, of course, Envy. But interesting. I think the Princess will add to this quite a lot. Because she has a Lust skill, honestly, yeah. The combination of these two things and the ability for her to use Hex now kind of solidifies her position in this team. It's definitely leaning away from purple in general and more leaning towards a focus on the middle with IDs that can support them with certain resource production and ego use. We need to get more ego for little old Sinclair. Hexnail is alright, but surely there's something better we can get. Maybe we should have a look. Maybe we should, you know, while we're doing all of this extraction shit, maybe we should have a fucking look. Telepole? Would that be better for Faust than Hexnail? Imply 1 Envy power-up and 1 haste to 2 random allies next turn. Yeah, actually, kind of. That would be really good. It requires Lust as well, though. When this unit has charged, deal plus 2% damage per charge count. Skill spend -2 charge count. That's really good. For a charge team, like if we were running Warp Corp, that'd be incredible. I think. Because to me, you know, I'm just making assumptions. This is Cavernous Wailing Sinclair, which doesn't really play into things. Although the shield is good. It's definitely not bad, it's just I'm looking for stuff that fits my very specific purposes. Well, Honglu has an Envy ego now as well. Heal 2 allies with lowest HP percentages for 15 HP. Or heal SP. And if it crits, heal the ally with the lowest HP percentage for 8 HP. Oh, it does both, but just less. Well, Cheers is fucking amazing. Okay, interesting. But Honglu isn't really a part of this team is the thing, because I don't really have an Envy identity with him. I'd say Envy is probably, from what little we know of Honglu at this point, probably the least applicable sin to him, because the boy wants for nothing. Or seems to. So it doesn't surprise me that there's not a much to go around. Yeah, it's not really a thing. Certainly not amongst the IDs I have. Okay. Well, I'll tell you what, let's look for some Honglu identities, huh? Maybe something with a support passive that helps. That does remind me, though, I do want Blade Lineage Sinclair as well to round off the team. Yeah, let me focus on doing that first. We're running out of these, though. Fucking hell. Already getting through them. Where are you, Sinclair? There you are. I don't think that's enough, is it? No. God, we're burning through them. 50. I don't mind going over a bit. There we go. Cool, let's get that.
제가 무엇을 베면 되는 거죠?
Hello, lad. Now, for those of you who are like, but Foreman, some of these identities won't be available and you're missing out by not sharding them. Guys, I think I'll get over it. All right, we'll probably get access to them again at some point. It'll be okay. Don't worry about what's the most optimal way to shard for new identities. What's the most efficient? Cast it all from your mind. It's a video game, okay? No one cares. Least of all me. Couldn't give less of a fuck. Only here to play the game and enjoy it. And this is how I'm doing it. So that's some good stuff right there. We got a Sinclair. I'm wondering if that was a good idea. I think your passive is kind of crap. Yeah, it's pretty bad. Or at least for my purposes, I don't use evade very often, although I probably would get more use out of evade now in the new world of unblockable coins, but fuck it. This support passive provides final power for slow allies, and that's pretty good. Gain poise count, poise. Paralyzed, bleed. Yeah, from what I heard, this guy, or this version of Sinclair isn't brilliant, but the support passive is really all I wanted him for, and to have the kind of Blade Lineage thing set up. Because I think I have all the Blade Lineage identities now, which is nice. Speaking of which, is there a Rhodia who can support this team? Because I kind of picked Lure for the sake of it, not because I thought it would help. Maybe we should look into that. I'm trying to set this up for Canto 8. Let's look into that. We need a Rhodia. Need a Rhodia who does Pride Resonance, specifically. Rose Spanner could be. When one ally at lower speed triggers Tremor Burst, increase the stagger threshold raised by 20%. Yeah, that would be great if we were doing that. It's not particularly useful, though. Okay. All right, then. Downer, but what are you going to do? Yeah, there doesn't appear to be a lot we can get with Rhodia that actually fits what I'm trying to go for here. In that case, I think just standard LCB Sinner fucking Rhodia would do the trick, because extra damage. We're going to get some Wrath. There are Wrath abilities in this overall team. Ryoshu provides assistance to the 2 gunnery units, so that's nice. Captain Ishmael, I'm pretty sure her passive is pretty good. Yeah, it's just extra poise, which you always need. And Grigor, what do you do again? Yeah, solid. Nothing crazy, but decent. I think in terms of identities, these guys are good to go. I think I remember this being decent. If the fastest ally's speed is faster than speed of all enemies, the fastest ally gains clash power +1. Yeah, that is good. You need to be uptied, though. But overall, yeah, that works. No, I'll do like level ups and stuff. Well, the level ups specifically I'll do off camera. We still have shards to spend, though. We still do. How many Eager Shards we got? Is anyone ready to just get something straight away? No, but some are close. We're very close to getting a Hong Lure one. So maybe we should do that. Cool. Let's go find ourselves a Hong Lure. I'm gonna see if I can find Envy Hong Lure. You look kind of purple. Oh yeah, immediately Envy. Look at that. Sadly, your support is on Gluttony, but does my purple team do Gluttony much? I need to rename these. Envy. Okay, cool. Now I'll be able to find that from now on. Give me a moment to actually sort this out. It's been too long. Pride. Okay, cool. That makes things easier to keep track of. So, Envy. How much are we doing for Gluttony here? Okay. Sinclair's skill 1. But that's kind of it. Of all the people active on the battlefield, that's all we've got in terms of Gluttony. And you would require 5. One ally with the most SP deals 20% damage with heads coins, which is good. That is good. Can we do better, though? I don't think so. I think that's the best we're gonna get. Okay, fuck it, go for it.
누구죠? 날 부른 사람이 감당되겠어요?
That's very fun. I like that. Good stuff. Inflict bleed. Heads hit damage +2. Heads hit damage +2. On kill, use the skill one more time. Heads hit damage +7. Reuse heads hit plus 100% damage for this coin. Wow, so that can be really effective. Evade. And then these. Nice. Okay, cool. Good. That's a solid little identity. As a backup unit, that gives the purple team something to work with as well. Don't think he's particularly incredible if he's season 1, though that doesn't necessarily mean he's bad, I know, but nevertheless, I think he'd be able to pull his own. Okay, so what else do we got? We're just trying to round off what we've got a lot of ego shards in. Hongler has fuck all now, which we'll actually need to do something about. It just occurs to me because we're gonna, you know, we're gonna uptime, so see if that's enough. We'll keep some of those left over. Next one would be Otis, I'd say. All right, Otis, what do you got? What can we find for you? From you, by you? It occurs to me there aren't that many identities I don't have in the dispensary, which is interesting. I figured there'd be more. It always felt like there was just an insane amount of identities, and I would never get close to getting them all, but it feels like we're getting closer. I don't think I'll ever get them all, and I'm not really trying, but it's interesting to see how, in the grand scheme of things, close I am. I think this is offset by the fact that there's a lot of ego I don't have. So that kind of rounds off, you know, kind of balances it a little bit. Molar Office is seeming like what it's probably going to be, but I'll have a quick look through. Yeah, I guess it's Molar Office, isn't it? That's all I can see. Go for it.
무슨 일이지? 머리 울리니까 조금 천천히 말해줬으면 좋겠어.
Good stuff. Like we're already. That's the point. We need to consider, or perhaps reconsider, what would be a good Otis for this team. Skill is discarded, gain 3 tremor count, lowers user stagger threshold for every tremor count on self. Discard, tremor, tremor count, tremor burst. Discard, spend 10 tremor count to gain coin power, inflict tremor, spend tremor, inflict more tremor count. Trigger tremor burst after tremor burst, reduce target. Okay, so a lot of burst there, it seems. Hangover cure, discard the skill of lowest rank in all this unit skill slots. Okay. So you're trying to discard all of your weight ups, I suppose? I don't know. At upside 1, it's hard to tell, but that's how it seems. Upon triggering tremor burst on an enemy, inflict 30% of raised stagger threshold as sloth damage. That's actually really solid. One ally with the most tremor count gains +1 tremor count from skill. Okay, yeah, she's good. She's very good. Let me quickly see if there's anything I can get in for Envy team, because, you know, all the MV I can see is Warp Corp Otis, which doesn't really help. Unfortunate. That's Gluttony. Would Gluttony help, though? Attacking targets with Rupture, which we're not doing. Nah, keep it as is. Although, what are we doing for Sloth? Actually, we're doing a fair amount for Sloth. Well, we've got fucking Merceau, that'll do. Okay. Once again, the focus is on the team for Kanto 7, but these are good things to get. We've got 100 Ego Shard crates left. I think it would be better to focus on upties for now, to make sure we can get them, although... make sure we can get them. There are multiple we need to get. We've got over 1,000 thread, so we're doing all right on that front. It's been 50 minutes, and it's just been me talking about shit, which is what this video was always intended to be, of course. Does that always have a... It doesn't... Now it has an unblockable coin. That's a big upgrade. Okay, it just gives it an unbreakable coin, but that's really solid. Plus 30% damage on critical hit. Gaining poise, I assume. Gain 2 poise count, inflict bind next turn. Go for it. Increase speed. It unlocks skill 3, which is pretty incredible. Take the shot gets a standard power upgrade. Target mark does as well. Okay.
가슴의 세발. 머리는 쏠 필요도 없겠네요.
That's fucking dope. Fucking dope. Looking forward to bringing these guys onto the field, let me tell you. Canto 8. Yeah, it is Canto 8. It's going to be a lot of fun from a gameplay perspective, guaranteed. Hold your fire. Are we ever going to get Sinclair full stop? Because that'd be fun. Oi, hold your fire, lad. Low, ready now. Thanks for repeating after me. Can't see too well through all this smoke. A battlefield thick with the smoke of war. The chaotic cacophony of gunfire and grinding gears came to a sudden stop at the child's hand sign. Full stop Hong Le, and by extension, the character he's based off of, would be my preferred combat style if I was to have a character that I made for this sort of thing, because pistol and knife is fucking radical. Cool as shit. I'll hear no arguments. They were contracted by the Association for the Eradication of the Church of Gears. Yeah. The child accepted the contract with gusto, but things weren't quite going according to plan, thanks to certain unexpected variables. A blue one. Doesn't seem like they'll be closing the distance anytime soon, right? Yeah, but I don't know if it's a good idea for us to shoot first, not to mention how we've already wasted a lot of bullets. This contract is a bit more troublesome than I'd expected. Guess that's what you get for picking up a sheer association contract. Despite already having spent quite a lot of bullets, the child and his colleagues were having some trouble making much headway. There was the hot steam, a byproduct of boosting their powers, and the smoke coming out of the grinding gears, but the worst of them all was the erratically moving gear worshippers, the very targets of their contract. Oh, not only are they constantly moving, but their movements are all so bloody offbeat. I'm having some difficulty getting a good shot in, lads. Got any bright ideas? The worshippers were sliding out of the bullets' trajectories in bizarrely fluent motions, as though they could tell where their guns were aiming. Benefits of installing thought gears, a calculation unit made from humans. Should we just start blasting and hope for the best? That sounds cheap. Won't drive us to bankruptcy at all. I don't hate that idea, but the budget for the bullets wasted is going to be coming straight out of Boss Man's pockets again, even if we were to finish the contract. The colleagues glanced anxiously at the child as the prospect of having to dip into their boss's personal funds became increasingly likely. However, the child's expression was as calm and casual as always, and he'd even begun humming a pleasant tune. I think my budget can handle a volley, unless you're looking to shoot Atelier Logic for ammunition full auto. Now that'll bankrupt even me, haha. Can you imagine? Like, Hongler goes home and his family are like, you spent how much on bullets? It's true, it wasn't that big of a deal for this child to pay for the bullets as long as they made each one count. He could handle it even if the office funds were about to be completely depleted. All he had to do was say the word and the family would send him pocket money. That pocket money being the equivalent of the office's yearly budget, could fill their warehouse to the brim with ammunition. It wouldn't leave them much, of course, but still. But not everyone found this attitude to be pleasant. Blimey, I just don't like it. It makes us feel like parasites every time we go ask your family for favors. Oh, well, what other choices we got? We can break down their cover with impact rounds, but they're hiding in all that smoke. Alright, everyone, let's relax and get it done like we always do. I'll take the vanguard, so please cover me. Right, I gotta take care of any buggers that get too close to you, yeah? No need to tell me how to do my job. Oh, that's great and all, but how about this? I think I just came up with a plan. The child's voice was as gentle as always, but there was a certain confidence and decisiveness in it as he explained the new strategy. After listening to the new plan, quickly described over the brief lull of battle, the two colleagues nodded affirmatively. Okay then, I'm going in. With that, the child leapt into the thick miasma of smoke without hesitation. Ooh, he could barely see what was ahead and the smoke was suffocating, but the child did not stop. That's cool. He began pulling the trigger with abandon the moment he ventured into the smoke. Most of them flew fruitlessly toward nothing, but he wasn't planning to hit the worshippers anyway. Ooh. Heathcliff, now! A thunderous gunshot rings out, even before the child says his full name through the receiver. The bullet fired at a moment's notice lands a direct hit into the worshipper's brain. He'd drawn them to the perfect angle for his sniper colleague to line up his shot. Once he confirmed that the thought gear inside the worshipper had come to a complete stop, the child did not waste a second and gave his next order. I'll draw them out, so start blasting on my count of 3. Yes, sir. 1, 2, 3. Bullets mustn't possess the firepower to penetrate buildings, building walls, or steel. The child knew well about the head's taboo involving firearms, and with that knowledge, twisted these disadvantages to his own advantage. Drawing a worshipper next to a building wall, taking cover on the other side of the wall himself, then ordering his colleague to fire a penetrator round would be an example of one such strategy. Another would be forcing the enemies to take cover behind a wall, requesting his colleagues to fire an impact round, and demolishing the wall to bury them in the rubble. The child soon realized that there was but a single worshipper remaining, having survived the slow but methodical takedown of the other worshippers. Looks like their leader escaped. So you're the last one of this group, seeing as you have 2 gears, may I assume that you're in a higher position than the others? A mere addition of 1 extra gear provided the lone worshipper a tremendous advantage in their final resistance. The worshipper nimbly wiggled out of the bullet trajectories even after the child drew them to an open position, and any penetration rounds that hit it bounced off impotently against its steel armor. Oh, you're right over there, I don't got a clear shot anymore, you're in my dead angle. His colleagues, realizing that this was not a foe to be underestimated, hollered worriedly in the child's direction. I think you two have done a great job supporting me so far, but it's time to end this. It doesn't seem that the child agrees with their concerns. The child steps forward, beaming with a casual smile. A sturdy breastplate made of steel. Some would purchase impact rounds to destroy the metal without penetrating it. Some would purchase micro bullets to shoot through any visible holes in the armor. But the child sought a much simpler approach. To this life of yours, there was nothing stopping him from cutting through metal with his dagger after all. The workshop-made dagger in the child's hands cut through the worshipper's armor like a knife through butter, and he aimed the barrel into this newly created gap in the worshipper's armor. By the time the echoes of the 3 gunshots had dissipated into thin air, the worshipper's gears had already stopped turning. I placed the final full stop. Nice. Appreciate it. Good stuff. Very cool. Bit of a tactician. I like that. So what do we get from Uptie 4? Which we can totally afford. Even more poise count. Lovely. Presumably more poise count. Ammo spent times 10% damage on critical hit plus 20% damage on critical hit. More power on full stop to life. More poise count. More stagger threshold raise. And there as well. And damage. And bind. Pierce fragility. Poise count. Damage on critical hit. Damage on critical hit. Ammo spent. Bonus to that. Clash win, gain poise count. Clash lose, more firepower. Or final power, I should say. Yeah. Stagger threshold. Yeah, there's just a lot of bonuses. 50% extra damage on critical hit. Goddamn. Melee support. Extra damage on critical hit. On evade, gain 1 poise 5 times per turn. Clashable counter. Extra damage on critical hit. Reload. Yeah, there's some good stuff here. Combat star. 20 plus poise potency. Gain plus 1 poise count. Ooh. Yeah, let's go for it. We're going to go into counterweight with the best shit we can in regards to this very specific team. Heathcliff, what do you got? So gain haste next turn, very good. Gain poise count on hit, which is nice. This unit's speed is faster than the target, still plus 10% damage for every 1 speed difference, max 30%, very nice. Gain haste, very nice. Damage on critical hit. On crit, inflict 1 pierce fragility. Solid. Seems good against single target removal, which you would expect from a sniper. Get going for the bullseye, which is marvelous. Extra base value for return fire, extra base value for headshot. When this unit enters the encounter, gain 1 ammo atelier logic once per encounter, so he can reload his atelier logic round. That's nice, like when he leaves and comes back. This unit substituted, although I don't know if that just means he now gets the ammo required to use a skill 3. I don't know if that necessarily means he gets an additional one. Except it's ammo atelier logic once per encounter. Okay. See what we got. Very cool, very cool. Appreciate it. See what we got. Gonna get him to upside 4 as well, naturally. That one's got away with words, so I'll give him that. Sweet talking miserable blokes while wearing those bizarre gears in their heads. How could anyone be convinced to willingly turn themselves into some kind of meat gear monster? Meat gears, thought gears, loads of wankers with gears shoved into their heads, all just to become smarter or something, isn't it? What a load of shite. I mean, I just can't believe anyone could think that their lot in life is to be a piece of gear in someone else's noggin. I don't suppose it's any of my business. Let's get back to work. What was it that Ongler said? That it's a rare, lucrative opportunity? Yeah, this will be good for us. Oh, this rifle. I thought Boss Man was some madman when he decided to purchase these firearms. I didn't even have a steady income then, and we were scouted to the team like stray animals getting taken in by some charity office after getting exploited to hell by other no-name officers left and right. Not that I don't deserve to be here. I was always confident in my abilities. But still, that suggestion that we should use those expensive guns all of a sudden was so out of the blue, but I couldn't help but think it was some shady shite. I thought, oh, this must be one of them scams where they buy me this expensive but broken gun and ask me to pay for its repairs and whatnot, when I was just getting ready to smash the office to bits trying to get a single straight word out of the boss man. He showed me an entire box the size of my head filled to the brim with ammunition. Didn't think the truth would be so simple, that the boss man's just a loaded man. Well, I suppose he did threaten us with no pay if we ever pointlessly wasted our bullets. A month of no pay for every shot missed, was it? I can't imagine Long Hongler being that harsh, but I'm saying harsh, that makes sense, they're fucking expensive. And I thought, thinking logically here, that it'd be smarter to get me a sniper rifle so there's less chance to be wasting bullets. I mean, yeah. So that's how this gun became my partner through thick and thin. I'm still quite fond of flipping out, smashing everything to bits with no concern for what comes next, but I think this fits me just as well, maybe. I guess there's a satisfying side to this, especially when I'm about to blast sods like 'em I'd rather not talk to. Ready, Heathcliff? Ready. Once the worshippers are in sight, make sure your gun is loaded and wait for my signal. Looks like I'll be hurting our wallets a tad more than usual today, is that alright with you? Oh, breaking out the Atelier Logic High Velocity Pulverization round, are we? Yeah, those gears in their heads. Regular rounds just bounce right off them. Better to grind them down and pulverize them. That's true. I'll be deducting your pay if you ever use more than a single round against the same enemy, though. Shite, mate. You'd be grumbling all the same even if I were using the cheapest ammunition on the market. You know how expensive those bullets are. Atelier Logic ammunition is pretty expensive, even for me. Oh, understood. Push the tactical sight forward and the chamber reveals itself below. I remove the topmost bullet from there and carefully replace it with a silver-plated, beautifully engraved bullet. Special round loaded, ready to fire. Beep, beep. I hear two beeps with the comms go opening and closing instead of a worded reply. That's the code for Roger that. He must be in their earshot. That's very close. Then I should get ready. Beep! The magnetic rail makes a funny noise as it begins to charge. Going for the bullseye. Gunpowder detonates, adding even more power to the bullet blasting forth from the barrel. I feel the recoil ram my shoulder backward. The sniper rifle uses two different propellants in tandem. Now that's something you don't see every day, even in most workshops. Of course, S-Class workshops could probably produce all kinds of fantastical items that'll easily trump something like this, but I'm sure I can count the number of S-Class workshops with my one hand. Doubt there's more than 3 tops. And that stuff's got to be exceedingly expensive too, even for the boss man. So, excluding those outliers, this gun's got to be the best. What the hell? Heathcliff, you miss? No, what in the... They've got to have some kind of foresight or something dodging my bullet like that. Well, I guess there are surprises around every corner in the city. It's beyond me how this bloke can remain so bloody calm and flippant even in situations like these. Oh, fuck this. Relocating. This nest's compromised. Gotcha. Looks like we'll have to do the thing. the thing. I'll leave it to you, Ongler. Okay, I've got this. Boss man covers me whenever I'm on the move, and whenever they've got him cornered, I identify the weak links and blast them with my sniper rifle. We've done this together more than a dozen times. There's no mucking up our teamwork. Well, unless the enemy is clearly out of our league. But I can see that carefree grin of his all the way from here. Looks like we're going to be okay. Oh, by the way, I'm deducting your pay for this month because you failed to kill them with a single shot, just like I promised. Saying stupid shit like that when they've clearly got an advantage over us. He really is a piece of work. Hey man, it's a lot of money. No wasting. Fucking Sinclair hasn't been paid in a month because he keeps going full auto whenever he sees anything. Good stuff. Gain 2 haste next turn. Very nice. Deal plus 10% damage for every 1 speed difference. Max 50%. That's fucking high. More poise count. Plus 50% damage on critical hit. More base value on going for the bullseye, which is fucking sweet. After attack, gain plus 2 poise count. Lovely. Plus 80% damage on critical hit. Plus target's pierce resistance times 50% damage on critical hit. More coin power on ALHV pulverization round. After attack, gain poise count. Same thing there as well. On evade, gain 3 poise 3 times per turn. Clash win, inflict 1 pierce resist down once per turn. Very nice. Clashable guard, right, I see. If this unit is not set to use any attack skills, including ego skills, apply 3 poise to 1 ally with the least poise potency. That's solid. Okay. Go for it. These guys are gonna be good. Okay, so you're up tie 3, that's fine. Bare minimum is good enough. You're also... Oh yeah, you got demoted because of the changes. Due to her bloody life, she had the changes. I don't see the point in going through this too much. We've done this before. Beginning counters with 7 ammo. Huh. Has poise at turn end, heal 8 SP. Okay.
여기는 류슈. 작전 편성 인원 전원이 사망해. 뭐야? 무전도 안 든 거. 좋아. 여기서부터는 내 세상이다.
Beautiful. And presumably this will be the same, where she sat in the briefing, getting annoyed. Yep. And then killing people. That's solid. We've seen this before. No worries. But there's no point having her on the team if she's not up tie 3. Because she's mostly going to be support. In fact, I think she's level 1, so she will exclusively be support. Yeah. You're up tie 4. Of course, we got him to max. Faust needs to be up-tied. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. So the team that'll be actively on the field will be Heathcliff, Isang, Faust, Don Quixote, Merceau, and Honglu. Everyone else will be support / backup. Nevertheless, the backups still need to be up tie 3, otherwise they're not contributing anything. All we need to up-tie at the moment is these 2, and we should be good to go. Or, actually, yeah, we need to up-tie Otis as well, otherwise her passive won't come into things either. See what you got. Well, not that. I'm going to need to start doing that, though. See what you got, Faust. Heads hit, gain poise. Plus 30% damage on a critical hit, inflict bind. Lovely, lovely. And then Red Plum Blossom stuff, which increases chances for critical hits, which is nice. And we get Red Plum Blossom Scatter, and it's all very good. More coin power on Moonlit Blade Dance, which is good, because what was that, +1 before? Fuck me, that's garbage. Oh, that's bad. Fucking hell. You want that to be one-sided for sure. Even with the up-tie upgrade, that's still garbage. I mean, for a skill 1, it becomes slightly more effective, but man, that's not good. That becomes better. Okay. Coin power.
오늘은 건물을 펼치기 좋은 밤입니다. 달을 머금은 칼날 끝에서 피어나는 꽃무리가 절정이죠.
Beautiful.
꽃놀이는 어떠신지.
The world is abound with things of beauty. The scattering moonlight, the blooming red plum blossoms. Among all that is beautiful in this world, Faust considers these 2 the finest of them all. Very specific. Faust is confident that she has read nearly every book in existence. No knowledge may escape Faust's grasp. Even still, to me, nothing else comes close to these 2. Regardless, I am okay. I can create new things with the stroke of my brush, put my thoughts to paper. We are to leave this home behind soon. S-Corp can no longer be redeemed. The deluge of corruption pouring from the headwaters and perverting every strand of the waterways of this river cannot be stemmed. We are but scholars of the martial arts. We cannot be a levy, let alone a dam to stop that flow. Yet there are virtuous ones who seek to purify the rivers of these putrefactions. We, or at least our mentor, felt that we must help them. It may have been his personal sense of justice, perhaps it was his own way of providing us with a last bastion to save our homeland. I have not inquired him, for he is a man of few words. I suppose his intentions behind this action matters not when we have already failed. We could not stop the levee from leaking. The flood took us, who stood next to the levee to defend it, and it left us no choice but to abandon our home. It was no easy decision to leave the nest behind. The Blade lineage under our mentor's guidance were all small feathers, each minor officials of their own. S-Corp sent the Shunokun after the mentor. We have lost many fellows in the process, yet I must consider ourselves lucky. Though our forces have dwindled, we were allowed to convene under the same banner once again. One day, I would like to pen a letter under the moonlight again. Before my brush with death does memories of the past return to me. So I wield this blade to protect my fellows, to prepare a new home for us. Though the red plum blossoms wilt with time and lose their beauty, I shall bloom them nonetheless, so this fleeting moment may be treasured. How long has it been since we have departed our nest? That's a very good image. Though I write not under the moonlight, I had a brief moment to write with my brush. My fellows have diligently sought a new home for us and led us to the back streets of T-Corp. Yet it was already occupied by a different syndicate. It need not be said that the conflict was inevitable. Something casts its shadow over the moon. They call themselves the Hugun. Dark cloud. The cloud may eclipse the moon for a brief moment indeed. But when the wind blows and when time passes, the cloud will scatter like any other. And before the majesty of the moon, the cloud is as insignificant as a speck of dust. This cloud shall be cast from the skies like the splendid shower of plum blossom petals. It may be my hands, or our mentors, or another Salzu's. Whoever it may be, the outcome is inevitable. The clouds shall scatter and red plum blossoms shall bloom from our foes. As it all should be. Nice, cool, good. She's cool, I like her. I don't think she'll be like a absolute fucking game changer on this team, but I think she will help. I think she'll be of benefit, at the very least. I think the red plum blossom stuff could do a lot to help. It does require crits, but I mean, it's a poise team. I think we'll be achieving that, will we not? All right, Sinclair, we need to get you going as well. Clash lose, gain 2 attack power up next turn. That's not terrible, but 5+1 is fucking abysmal for a skill 2. To claim their bones, which is very cool. Speed is fucking garbage. Base power for slice, then stab, and slash series, which makes them still shit. That attack power up is kind of crucial. How I don't. Oh well.
더 날카로운 검이 되겠습니다.
It looks cool though. But definitely something of a last resort when it comes to backups. Which side could be the real me? The child was afraid of himself. He couldn't control his own shifts, and he lacked the courage to decide for himself. What if he really was just a crazed murderer? Such thoughts befuddled and clouded the child's head. The people this child met among the Blade lineage praised his tendencies as the mentality of a true slayer. But those compliments didn't do him much good when he himself doesn't want to be like that. Rather than inspire confidence, they only serve to burden him. Thus, he still struggles to find his place between the pleasure of bloodshed and the unease it makes him feel. The moon is so bright. Expelling a breath, the child looked up into the sky. Gazing at the moon in solitude was the one thing that could bring him comfort. Short, sweet, and to the point. It's just a shame he kinda sucks. So, I think they were saying it to make you feel better, buddy. What would your Uptide 4 look like? Okay, that becomes significantly more competent already. Especially with that additional coin power. Same with that. Clash win, do not spend poise count with critical hits landed with this skill. Okay, that's really good, to be fair. That's really good, but Clash win, not impossible, but unlikely. To claim their bones becomes really powerful, 150% critical damage. New sprung counter. This is the combat passive. Whenever an ally other than this unit gains poise count, this unit gains +1 poise count, 50% chance. That's really good, to be fair. Still don't intend to use him as an active combatant, so I'm not going to get him up to Uptide 4, or at the very least I'm not going to prioritize it, but cool stuff. Okay, Otis, we need to get you there as well. Gains aggro next turn, poise count, Faster than the targets, coin power +1. Gains aggro, inflicts binds. Good stuff. And a Balestra Fente, that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. Declare dual Otis. Clash power +1. On hit, the declarer gains 1 haste next turn, so she likes her speed. Apply 1 haste next turn to 2 allies with lower speed. That's actually really good. Extra damage on crit. Extra base power on Marsh. Extra base power on Punition. And Mentor's Counsel, which is what we really want.
예, 인정해 주신다면 영광일 따릅니다. 계속해서 실망스럽지 않은 모습을 보여드리겠습니다.
Nice. This will be the last Uptie story we'll cover for today, because it's not really the intent of today to go through these, but I also need to uptie them to Uptie 3. These are the ones I have to do, so we're going to focus on that for now. I see, so you've already conducted an interview with the members of Section 5. Yeah, that director was, well, she was certainly a character. Sync South Section 5 director Don Quixote, was it? I've heard many tales about her, yes. Ah, we have Sync Don. We should look into that at some point. I'd like to make a Sync team, because now we've got Meso as well. As the child slowly strolled through an alleyway, a woman with a small notepad followed closely behind her. She also brought me on a 30-minute long stroll through the alleyways, actually, like we're doing now. Oh, my apologies. Perhaps this interview would have been better conducted in a proper reception room. No, I got pretty much everything I want to know about Sync Association from you. The interviewer smiled, flipping through her notepad. Unlike in our previous interview, her notepad was filled to the brim with information. I thank you for your understanding. I'm certain that you've already been informed, but this is part of our work process. Please do understand. Ah, yes, of course. Apparently, she's writing down notes in a fucking Sharpie. In the corner margins of her notepad, the interviewer scribbled the following: interviewee is somewhat unfriendly. Of course, the child didn't see that. Well, if I were to speak my mind, I don't believe that either directors of sections 4 and 5 are individuals fit for their respective positions. Ah, gasp! Wouldn't you agree? Such flippant behavior ill befits the position of a leader. The child sighed, then looked at the interviewer. It was as though she was expecting an answer. Ha ha ha, I wouldn't know a thing about that. Is that so? How quaint. Well, whichever it may be, I have no complaints about their martial prowess. When the director of Section 4 wields his blade, for example, it inspires a certain chilling awe in people. Oh yeah, I've heard the stories. He moves as though in a trance, guided by the blade itself right into the opponent's weakness. Very small guy, strange that he's in charge, but there you go. That is no exaggeration indeed, the stories are true. His technique is, well, it's not an easily replicated technique, if it even could be replicated, that is. The interviewer nodded along, jotting down things on a notepad as the child lectured. However, I, Otis, can confidently say that my very own skills do not fall behind the director's. Is that so? Once this is over, I plan to return to the training hall for a spa, unless you have prior engagements. I'd like to point out that Sinclair is considered one of the best identities of Sinclair's. Might have changed with time, sure, but I've never heard anyone say that Sync Otis is one of the best identities she has. I'm sure she's probably not terrible, but probably doesn't measure up to Sinclair. Would you like to watch me duel? Oh, of course, we'll miss it for a while. The child laughed gently and fixed her hat. She liked that answer. Very well, then let us hurry. The child began walking a little faster as though the thought raised her spirits. She seems very proud of her own skills, maybe too proud. Of course, the child didn't see the interview write that down either. Not that the child needed to see it, that is, and the interviewer would soon see why. Cool. Right, she said the most important thing at duel is to properly manage distance between oneself and the opponent. The interviewer whispered to herself, observing the child. When the opponent finally had the chance to press the offensive, the child was already out of their reach. And when the opponent's defense cracked, even for a split second, the child quickly bridged the gap to exploit the opening, then she rapidly retreated to the exact position as before. The child's distancing was precise, exact. It was almost as though she was measuring her every step with a ruler. She's doing all that with a hat on, too. The interviewer gulped and looked down at her notepad. And she quickly crossed out her earlier comment about the child's pride. She had to, of course. It was no mere boast. She was certainly skilled enough to back up her own claims. Yeah, but take on Sinclair? I'm not so sure. I have my doubts. I don't think so. Doubt. Pressing X to doubt. Mashing X to doubt. What would happen if you got up Type 4? 3 aggro. Okay. S7 plus poise, final power plus 4. That's quite a lot. Clash win, gain poise based on clash count. Max 10, so you can gain a lot of poise from that. 7% damage on critical hit, 2 haste. If this unit's speed is faster than the target's, gain coin power based on speed difference, plus 1 for every speed difference, max 3. So she can be really good at evasive shit. On evade, gain 1 poise, max 10. On evade, gain 1 haste next turn, lower this unit's max stagger threshold by 5. Oh, okay, wow. If the said ally is a sync association fixer, the fastest ally deals plus 10% pierce damage. Okay, so she's really good at supporting a sync team. Of which there aren't many at the moment, but there was recently a new one. Interesting, interesting. Okay, well, I want this team to be the best it can be. You have enough ego shards. And I think you're going to need the help. So more coin power on poise, which is great. More coin power again, which is great. Coin power on poise, which is great. Consume half the poise count on stealth and gain poise equal to the poise count consumed. This skill does not consume red plum blossom on crit, which is actually kind of amazing. If target has 10 red plum blossom, inflicts slash fragility, and again, that's really solid. Bit of gloom there. And it's a guard. Guards are always solid. On crit, inflict 1 red plum blossom. If the target has 10, inflict 1 defense level down. Instead, 6 times max. Okay, yeah, I get that. What about you, Don Quixote? Coin power on poise, very nice. Coin power on poise, very nice. If the affected ally is from the blade lineage, apply 2 additional poise. That's really good. Coin power on poise, extra crit damage. If the affected ally, more poise. Target's defeated, apply 1 slash damage up to self and 1 random ally next turn. Better evade. Oh, we don't have enough thread. Oh, well, I actually used up all our thread. Oh, I don't believe it. Oh, it's crazy. And here you go, Don Quixote. When the next Kanto rolls around, this team will be ready. It will be ready. It will be ready to go, for sure. It just needs to be leveled up, which I will work on between now and then. But we have, what, 100 more? Yeah, about 100 more crates. And Heathcliff's the one with the most ego shards right now, so why don't we see if we can get him something. I think I might have all of the shardable Heathcliff identities, which is nuts. Looks like it. Okay, let's get him an ego then. Preferably something that fits with the team we're currently building, but it's not required. With the Heathcliff egos I am aware of that can be sharded, we can either go Tremor or Charge, and that's either Gloom Charge or Envy Charge. Considering he has a full set of ego already equipped. Don't know how much lust is in this. Yeah, there's no lust in this team, so Tad Sunyata will need to be replaced. HE. So we need a new HE for him. Sloth, Gloom, Pride, and Envy. I'm sure we can get that. Yeah, we've got plenty of Sloth, plenty of Gloom, plenty of Pride, plenty of Envy. Okay, well, that's the decision then, isn't it? We're getting asymmetric inertia.
균형을 잃은 게 아니야. 세게 후려치려고 기우뚱거린 거지?
It's a very fucking cool design, to be fair. That looks fucking amazing. Super good. That's for you. Do we have anyone left that we can do anything with by this point in terms of ego shards? Nope. Highest we've got is Rodeo. Or Ryoshu, beg your pardon. And we can't do anything with it because we don't have any thingies. We can thread spin up to tier 4. But is there anything that needs it? Is the question. Fell Bullet could be a contender, actually. I mean, yes, to be fair, thread spinning Dimension Shredder, which I should have done ages ago, would be good for Honglu. And it uses the right ego resources for us as well. But it's Gluttony and Pride. Well, how are we doing for Gluttony? Our active team is not using Gluttony. Okay. So we wouldn't really get anything out of it. That's a shame. neither Dimension Shredder nor Effervescent Corrosion are going to get any play. Fuck it, I'm going to upgrade Fell Bullet. Why not? I really like it, so I'm going to go for it. Good stuff. All right, let's have a quick look at that then, shall we? Yes. Highest Resin Torn Memory. So if we can get Pride Resonance going with Torn Memory, that'd be massive. If it was an Absolute Resin, gain Highest Resin. Instead, 1 poise for every Torn Memory, gain 1 poise count. Lose every Torn Memory. Plus 15% damage on critical hit for every Torn Memory, max 105%. Inflict bleeding, sinking, and if on crit kill, if this unit has the ammo effects, gain 1 ammo 3 times per encounter. So that could be really useful. That could also be very powerful. Combat Staff, 3+ highest resin, gain 3 poise. This seems made for full stop Heathcliff, to be fair. Like originally, I guess it would have been made for, what's his fucking name? Harpooner, Peckard Harpooner Heathcliff. Now it seems made for full stop office Heathcliff. Okay, cool. So this team is pretty much put together now, I think. I think we're ready to go. I just need to level them up. We've pretty much got all of the upties we need, if I remember correctly. All the active combatants, I think, are at uptie 4. So they'll be fighting as best as they can. Did we get Don Quixote? Yeah, we did. Okay, cool. So, team set up. That will be all for today, so we're not running too long doing this sort of thing. I appreciate it's not entirely interesting for a lot of people, but, well, I don't want to do stuff without letting you guys know what I'm doing, I suppose, because I know a lot of people like to feel involved, which is fine. I don't mind doing it. I'm happy to share the process with you. But if it is a bit dry, I do apologize, but hey, we're just here hanging out. So, we need to go through upties as well. I think I need to dedicate an episode to catching up on that, because I'm sick of being behind. I'll offer a small task out to those who are willing to take it, I suppose, because it's not, there's no like obligation or responsibility to you guys to do anything. But if any of you could write down upties that you know I haven't, uptie cutscenes that you know I haven't done, that I haven't covered on camera, so I can put together a nice little list so that we can cover them all in one go. Obviously, I haven't done Sinclair. Middle Sinclair is an obvious one. I haven't done that yet. Which we will have to cover, which is absolutely fine. Looking forward to it. But I know there are others as well. I think Eurodivi Ryoshu is another one. Maybe T-Corp Rhodia? I remember doing T-Corp Dawn. I don't think I remember doing T-Corp Rhodia. Ufi Heathcliff, I haven't done. Yeah, there's quite a few. Put a list together and don't worry too much about, if you're like, I'm not sure if he's done this one, he might have done it, but I'm not sure. Write it down anyway, because the moment I boot up the cutscene, I'll know if I've done it or not, right? I'll recognize it. Or I might even remember. So don't worry too much. Just if you do even do it, and if you do, I'm grateful. Don't worry about like, oh, he might have already done this one. Just write him down. If you don't want to do that, that's fine. I'll just put the list together myself and go forward from there. But it would be helpful and I'd appreciate it. So all of you who have been overzealous in trying to get me to do the uptie cutscenes, hey, now's your chance to actually shine, you know, when such things have actually been requested. Go figure. But that's all from me for today, friends. Thank you so much for watching. Special thanks to our members and patrons: Miscreant, Raku Riku, Red Crescent, Tony the Horse, Cryolytic, Lyle the Haxara, Bissalangi, Ensistora, E, Lamthelian, Gage Donaldson, Hotcherman, Saga, Jack, Ninja Dog, Ember Fox, Grand Captain General Peace, Mean Baby Back Turtle, Movement Humor, Cuds, Canis Samaria, Poe, Potion Black, Lifesteal, Mega Mr. Seaman, Unclever Name, Summercat, Flanny, Pinch Schoon, Lip Potatoes, Proxy, Caminera, Moa, Heartband, Harrick J, Dresso, Sion Distance, Lol, Etherbin, Linky, Zeon, CW Ward, Alkia, Honeydew, Sweet Baby Red, Jessica D. Plutonium, Pie, Jimmy Ghost, Slap Lullaby, K-Bub, Magic Owl, The Frostbite, Monsoon, SCP-1068, Named, and Kenny T100 for supporting me on YouTube and on Patreon. Thank you so much, guys, and thank you all so much for watching. I enjoy the process of putting the teams together. I enjoy it significantly more than actually creating something good. I enjoy the process of going through it all and being like, oh, okay, so this could work with this, and then what about this, and oh, we could put these two together. That'd be pretty cool. And I enjoy that process a lot more, A, than the actual result, and B, than just going out and trying to get someone to put together a team for me. I think like a solid 30 to 40% of the gameplay in Limbus is putting the teams together. The way I see it, why would I deprive myself of that? You know, why would I go online and just be like, okay, well, I'll get someone else to put this together for me, and then, well, that's 30 to 40% of the thinking done. And I'm like, but that's the game, and that, like, if someone else wants to do that, that's fine. Like, you know, play it the way you want to. But when, I guess my issue comes when people decide for someone else that, oh, clearly I should just tell you how to make a team, and I'm like, I don't want to know how to make a team. I want to make the team myself, because that's the game. It's like playing Total War Warhammer and having someone be like, all right, let me just make your army for you. And I'm like, but me making the army is the game. If I'm not making the army, then it's not my army and I didn't make it, and that was the game, and I'm not playing. I want to play the game. I want to do it myself, you know? If I was sat here going, my teams are shit, why can't I make anything work? That would warrant some criticism where it's like, well, if you accepted some fucking help, you might do all right, you know? But nah, I very much enjoy putting these teams together myself. I enjoy the process. I like talking through it. This video was fun for me, for what it's worth. I apologize if it was a bit dry, but I enjoyed it. I liked going through everything, seeing what's there. I enjoyed looking through the dispensary and finding stuff. I don't mind looking through it now that I'm very familiar with the game, but early on, I didn't want to know everything that was in there because there was a level of mystery to it. But now, as we can see, I have a lot of the IDs in the game. Not all of them, obviously, and I don't think we're that close, but I have enough of them that now I can look through and be like, ooh, what's this? Or ooh, what's that? I still don't want new releases revealed to me, obviously. I like to be surprised, but, you know, as you become more familiar with a game, you're more inclined to delve into it, but I'm not going to be diving into, like, build crafting when I first start playing a game. I've got to have an opportunity to explore a little bit. It's why my first character, when I did my Cyberpunk playthrough years ago, was utter bollocks, and the character I've made now, when I've been playing while I was ill, is actually really good, because I had my time to be crap and just play and be crap, and then I was like, all right, this time I've got an idea in mind and I'm going to try and put it together, and then I made something really good. Not hard to do in Cyberpunk, certainly, but it's an enjoyable process nonetheless, you know what I mean? But I'm truly rambling now. This is a bunch of waffle, which has been the whole video, to be fair. But thank you so much for watching, and whatever happens next time, hope I see you there. Doodles. Goodbye.